Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a king and a queen. They had a beautiful daughter named Snow White, whose skin was as white as snow, lips as red as roses, and hair as black as ebony. After the queen died, the king married again. The new queen was beautiful, but she was cruel and jealous. She owned a magic mirror and asked it every day, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" As long as the mirror answered that she was the most beautiful, the queen was satisfied. One day, however, the mirror replied, "You are beautiful, my queen, but Snow White is the fairest of them all." The queen was filled with rage and jealousy. She ordered a hunter to take Snow White deep into the forest and kill her. But the hunter felt sorry for the kind young girl and let her go instead. Lost and frightened, Snow White ran through the forest until she found a small cottage. Inside were 7 little beds, 7 little chairs, and a table covered with dishes. Exhausted and hungry, she ate some food and fell asleep. That evening, the 7 dwarfs who lived in the cottage returned home. They were surprised to find Snow White sleeping in their house. When she woke up, she told them her story. The dwarfs felt sorry for her and allowed her to stay, as long as she helped with the housework. Meanwhile, the evil queen discovered from her magic mirror that Snow White was still alive. Furious, she disguised herself as an old woman and made a poisoned apple. She went to the dwarf's cottage and offered the apple to Snow White. Snow White took a bite and immediately fell to the ground, lifeless. The apple was poisoned. When the dwarfs returned home, they were heartbroken. Believing Snow White was dead, they placed her in a glass coffin in the forest, where they watched over her day and night. One day, a prince passing through the forest saw Snow White in the glass coffin and fell in love with her beauty. As the coffin was moved, the piece of poisoned apple fell from Snow White's throat. She opened her eyes and awoke. The prince and Snow White were soon married, and they lived happily ever after. As for the evil queen, her magic and jealousy were destroyed, and peace returned to the kingdom. And so, Snow White and the 7 dwarfs lived happily ever after.